lepu izložbu za vas. 4. put imamo izložbu koja je rezultat saradnje studenta fotografije iz Srbije i Japana, sa velikom razlikom što će ova izložba da se seli za Japan u avgustu mesecu i da se prikaže Japanskoj republici u Tokiju i Nagoji. Ono što je isto jako lepo, što smo se danas okupili, to je ono što kaže nova, ali jako lepa tradicija, već je postalo tradicionalno. Fotorama festival i muzej 21. oktobar. Na svakog zadnjeg dana Fotorame organizujemo dodelu nagrada za veliki fotografski konkurs koji organizuje Spolan park 21. oktobar.
Fotorama je 13. po redu, ni malo baksazan broj, očigledno Marko radi fenomenalne stvari, svake godine sve bolje, sa sve većim brojem gostiju. Neki gosti su tradicionalno već više puta ovde i drago mi je pre svega da se saradnja sa japanskim studentima nastavlja dugi niz godina i izuzetno mi je drago da se podešava ovde. Dobrodošli, uživajte i izložiti.
Da se pridružim čestitkama za još jednu fenomenalnu izložbu koju Marko organizuje, odnosno manifestaciju, ako tako mogu da kažem, koja je postala tradicija u našem gradu. Kao što smo čuli od prošle godine, deo ove manifestacije je izručenje nagrada u okviru fotokonkursa koji smo započeli prošle godine. U okviru naše manifestacije dosta se osvetio jedna šumarica koja postoji skoro 50 godina u organizaciji Spolan parka, to su taj likovni literarni konkurs naše ustanove. Marko je predsednik žirija i ove godine smo se dogovorili da zapravo učenici koji su izabrani kao najbolji baš ovdje prime tu nagradu i posete ovako jednu izuzetnu izložbu fotografija u našem gradu. Što se tiče samog konkursa, simbolično nazvanog kroz objektiv za nezaborav, tema konkursa je ove godine Memorijalni park i Belički oktobar, znači fotografije koje su nastale u našem parku i koje su izuzetne, kao i prošle godine. Plan je da se zapravo fotografija koja je izabrana kao najbolja uzme kao vizualni identitet čitave manifestacije dosta su svetili jedne šumarice, a 10 učenika koji su poslali najbolje fotografije po mišljenju žirija u septembru će biti polaznici fotoradionice koju će Marko voditi u našem muzeju i gde će on podeliti deo svojih, da kažem, znanja o stvaranju umetničke fotografije.
Dobroveče svima. Ja neću nešto dodatno da kažem specijalno. Želim samo da se zahvalim svim učesnicima i prvenstveno Marku na ovoj saradnji i želim da kažem da mi je veoma drago da ovaj konkurs zaživao i da deca na ovaj, mogu reći, ozbiljan način učestvuju na ovom konkursu. Tako da ne bih ništa više rekla. Hvala vam, hvala svoj deci koje mogu da uzmem u obzir za razmatranje za sledeću godinu da se još ozbiljnije pozabavimo.
It's my great pleasure to share these minutes of my life with Muga Shimosato. Good evening and welcome.
Oh, good evening, sir. Thank you.
First of all, Muga, I'd like to ask you, how do you feel here in Serbia? What are your impressions about Serbian people?
So, it was amazing stay. So, food is very good, and so people are very kindness for me and very helpful for me. So, It's a very important thing. We have to know different culture each other. It's a very important thing. We can understand each other, right? Yeah. So Serbia is very special just for history. Yeah, it's very interesting. Everything's interesting for me, and yeah, thank you for inviting me.
It's not the barrier of the language. So we can understand each other through the work of art. Through the things we do, through the thoughts we have. All right. And what are your impressions about the whole Fotorama festival? You know that this year it is devoted to Japanese and Serbian students.
Okay.
It's a combination. So how do you feel about that? Does it make closer?
So I think just Japanese and Serbian, it's very similar for photography, because photography it's kind of a language. It's without a language we can understand each other, because photography is it's a kind of a language. We can understand each other. It's a fantastic, right?
Yeah, right. Where do you find the inspiration? I mean, how do you find the moment when you make the photo?
Oh, me?
Yes, you personally.
For my artwork, it's eye expression relationship, me and photography. It's inspired 80s to 90s Japanese porn magazine. It's the strongest relationship for me, because I took a porn magazine from older brother's room where I was young. So it was the biggest impact for me in the photography, but puts the patch. But I imagined it to patch. Imagined it getting bigger and getting better like that. And I imagined it so much, and I really enjoyed. That's the strongest relationship, me and photography. That's why I express that photo, that my artwork like that.
Yeah, great. And when you compare yourself today and to your beginnings, since you were not the photographer from the very first days of your entering the world of photography, what are the differences? Do you still learn? Or you think that when you have a good equipment and good idea, the learning stops?
I mean, I never stop running, because there are many books and many philosophy in the world. So if artists stopping study, stopping running, it's a perspective getting very narrow, and it's just a one-way expression, one-way presentation. It's not very good for artists, and some of artists are getting very narrow. So I don't want to getting like that, and I have many perspective. I hope so. I am a company president. I am an artist. So my area, I was a professional snowboarder. So I can see things many perspective. I try to do that. It's a very important thing for artists. So I never run to technique, cultures, and know each other like that.
Which reward is your favorite one? I mean, which reward fulfilled you with happiness?
I hope many people understand my artwork, and many people try to get out subjectivity bubble and stand back and look widely. And it's with seeing the world with objectivity. It's that concept. That name is Muga. Muga is a Buddhism enlightenment.
All right, that's great. Yes. Were you a good antique dealer in the time when you were an antique dealer? Were you as good as you are in photography?
Oh yes, I saw many antique things, and I saw many vintage things in Europe. It's kind of I studied history about Europe and the United States. It's very good layers for me, and I saw many good quality things and very historical things.
Yeah.
I just studied because I never been to high school, university. So after high school, university, I really want to study this because study is very fun. That's why this antique dealer and antique vintage fashion buyer is a really perfect education for me. Yeah, it's like university.
Yes, fashion buyer is really something that gives you the opportunity to try
exactly.
to try your ideas. How do they stand? Completely. Do you have any advice for someone who starts? Who is at the beginning? What is the most important thing?
Okay, I think just everybody can become an artist. If you want to express something, you can become artist tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, any medium is okay. Photography, sculpture, paint, everything's like art. But I just want to say, why you want express? It's why is very important. Why I express these photography? Why I choose a photography? Why I choose a paint? It's a relationship, life and art. It's express your life, express your layers. It's very important things, and that's all.
That's all. Okay. Muga, I'd like to thank you very much for this short interview. And if you can do me a favor, let's do it in 4 languages.
Okay.
Saying goodbye to our watchers.
Okay.
Say first in Japanese.
Okay.
How do you say farewell, see you, good luck, or something like that?
Okay.
Can you say that in Japanese, please?
Sayonara.
Okay, thank you. Now in French.
Okay.
Can you say?
Au revoir.
What? In Italian?
Could you tell me Italian?
Buona fortuna.
Buona fortuna!
Buona fortuna. Così.
Buona fortuna.
Così.
Buona fortuna.
In Serbian, vidimo se.
Vidimo se.
Tako, grazie mille. Grazie mille.
Grazie.
Muga Shimosato. Grazie mille.
Prego.
Grazie mille. Well, it's my pleasure right now to say hello to Dennis Dunbar, who is the 3rd time in a row here in Kragujevac on Fotorama Fest. Welcome to Kragujevac, welcome to Serbia.
Thank you very much.
And the question which I do is the question which I always ask people who come on Fotorama is, what are your impressions this year, 2023, about the whole Fotorama Festival?
I love coming to Fotorama. I love the events and the different things. We see great photography. We get to meet some really interesting people. I'm lucky enough to get to share some ideas and experience with people and see them inspired. But the best part is coming and the friends you make. It's the connections with the people that you make, and that's by far the best thing for me. And Marco has become such a close friend. I love everything he does. I'm such awe of this man. So definitely the people are the best part about Fotorama for me.
Fantastic. Now, you brought your vast knowledge here. This year, you had a special workshop with students. What are the students like? I mean, were they interested in the whole thing you taught them in the past 3 days?
Yes. One of the things I really like about coming to teach here is the students are really willing to work hard for that. So in the past, I'd gone to workshops and things, and the teacher expects, like, I'm going to talk and people will just put up with me, and you can kind of fall asleep in the back of the class and not miss anything. I like to try to have people really understand what's going on, and so they have to practice and participate. And so the nice thing is you get like a 6-hour class, an 8-hour class, where you have enough time for that. So the students here are really willing to stretch and work hard for that. And you see in the beginning of the day, they're going like, I don't understand, I'm going to be nice, and yes, but I don't understand. And then you have them practice, and you go around and give them some notes, and then you check out what they're doing, and then you talk again, and you give them some more practice, and by the end of the day, like, oh, we're getting it. So that's the best part about coming, and teaching the class here, is that the people are willing to work hard and participate in it and really learn something. And as a teacher, you feel good, like, I made a difference. Hopefully these people learn something and they'll create something really great with it. but the participation is so essential.
Yes, and we heard from some students that your patience cannot be merged by anything. They say that you are so patient. You come close to each student to explain all, starting from very simple things, where to click, where to move, where to put the mouse, until those some more complicated things.
Well, that's really nice of them to say that.
Yes.
I try.
Yes.
I try. My children could probably tell you different stories, but I really enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
And so it's great that they notice that and try to make, appreciate that.
Yes, they say that you were with everyone the same, so no differences in approaching your students here. I suppose that it's all the same anywhere you go throughout the world. Dennis, I'd like to know for our watchers and listeners, how did it all start in your life? You didn't start immediately with digital technology, because there were the times when we didn't know even for the digital technology.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, I started off studying mechanical engineering in college. I realized very quickly, I took every class except engineering, like I didn't want to be an engineer. And a friend of mine showed me some interesting photography he was doing, first person I could relate to with that. So that got me into photography, and it became like the wave. I was carried by like, I've got to learn about photography. So I dropped out of school and started studying photography, and I worked at a place in Hollywood that rented out photographic equipment to like advertising photographers. And like all the top photographers in the world would come through this place. When I left there, I was assisting them and working with them. And I'm starting to hear about this beginning thing where they're using computers to manipulate photos. There was a big scandal when National Geographic used a computer to move the moon for a composition so it fit within their thing. I'm like, oh my God. And I thought, that actually sounds kind of cool. So slowly it started to get more and more interesting to me. And then one summer, every day I wasn't working, I was trying to learn about it. And I was calling up people, looking, researching who would find something. And I finally found a lab in Los Angeles, a film lab, they had the computers, and they're like, here, come, we'll teach you this. So I took just a few hours of classes with them, and I told my wife, I got to get a computer. The only way I can learn is to get this computer.
Right.
So I got the computer and started learning Photoshop and all that. I actually got the computer before we were married. So in February of '91, got the computer and started a business. In June of '91, I got married. I do not recommend starting a business and getting married the same year.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely.
Yeah, my father-in-law said, took me aside, first thing, you got to get rid of that computer. But something drove me, and I just completely fell in love with it, and fortunately I found a way to make a career out of it.
Yeah,
so I feel like I was really lucky. And in some ways, working on a computer in Photoshop combines that engineering side I was interested in with the art side with the photography. So I feel so fortunate that I found something that combines my two loves.
Yes. Has your family always supported you in a way from the start till beginning an A-class retoucher?
Yes. Yeah. My wife, I have to give her a lot of credit for that. She's been so supportive over all the years. I've always known no matter what, if things are going well or if things are going tough, she's going to be there for me and support me. I try to do the same for her. So yes, family's always been supportive. Our daughter's growing up, always got to see, because I would work from home a lot, and our daughters got to see what I do, and I felt so proud, like, oh, my kids know what I do. And I never knew what my father did. I had an idea he did something with contracts, but I never understood what it was. And at least my children would come and see that. And one daughter would have really good critiques about the concepts. The other daughter was really sharp about the details. I'm like, oh, look, that mask needs fixing, whatever. So between the two, I had the best critics ever.
Fantastic, fantastic. It's the best way you can organize things.
Yes.
Yes, to have critics among members of your family.
And the last time I came to Fotorama, my older daughter came with me. This year, my younger daughter came with me.
So that is one which takes care about small things, small items.
She's the detail-oriented one.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, Dennis, is it a hard work to start from an idea until finishing, let's say, a piece of art? How long, approximately, but you are an artist, first of all, does it take to make?
It can be a long process. The role I play is typically, like if I'm working on a movie poster, I don't make the idea. It's a long process. The movie studios will hire several ad agencies to come up with ideas, and they go through round after round after round after round, and then finally they pick 3 or 4 for a movie or something they're going to do, and then it goes to somebody like me to turn that rough art into polished art. So I don't have to come up with the idea for that, but that process can be very long. And by the time it gets to me, it's hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. But still, like we could be working a week, 2 weeks or whatever on a movie poster, and sometimes it's just a day on a movie poster. So that can be long.
Yes.
I also work with photographers for ad campaigns or their portfolio work or something like that. And sometimes those are really quick turnaround, and other times like we're really working this. So it can be short, it can be long for that. And the fortunate thing is, since I work for my clients, I'm never the one making the final decision. So somebody tells me to stop, I'm done. If it's my own thing, I'm never done. I always want to go back and tweak this and fix that. And I always see something wrong. But at least the client's like, oh, this is great, send it. Like, I'm done.
Wow, that's excellent. All right. Are there days when you cannot even turn on the computer? Are there such days?
There are days when like you work several days in a row, you get really tired, and it's nice to have a day off. But that's really quite rare that I want that time off. I mean, even if I'm not going into work for a client, I'll just go in and I'll check on things and just kind of putter around, kind of play around with something. And the last year I got back into trying to take photographs for myself just for enjoyment. So when I had that time, I'm like, oh, I'm going to open up Lightroom and play with my images and try to find, can I take a good picture again?
Yeah. And does the idea go together with the technique? I mean, can you make a work of art without having a good computer machine, without such things? You can.
Yes, you can. You can use Lightroom on your phone, on your smartphone, and render a good photograph on that. You could use it on your iPad. You can use it on your laptop. So having a powerful computer helps. But these days, even your phone is the phone is more powerful than that first computer by a long way.
Yes.
So it helps, but you don't have to have that.
Yes. And throughout all these years, what is that fulfills you, let's say, emotionally the most in your artwork? Is it the result? Is it the poster for the film, or something that comes from the inside?
It's kind of all of that. I love working on something that feels like it was a cool image. So whether it was my idea or my client's idea, you look at that like, oh my God, look at this beautiful thing we made. That's great. But it's also really amazing when you tell people, like one of the movie posters I worked on recently was for a TV show called Yellow Jackets. And you got all these heads and this great, color gradation that looks really great. And oh my God, you worked on that! Like, wow, I did something really cool. People love what I did. So it's all of those things together.
Fantastic. Do your 2 daughters follow you in some way, or they only not meaning criticize, but help you in?
Well, they both are very happy to add suggestions and help with that. But my older daughter is becoming a veterinarian to work with animals, and my younger daughter is an engineer for Gallo Wines. So they both took different paths.
I see.
I think no matter what father, mom or dad does, it's never quite what the kids are going to want to follow in their footsteps.
We should all leave them do what they like and really join in. That's right. And before we finish, I'd like just to ask you to tell me a few words about your friendship between Marko Stamatovic and you. How did your friendship start? I read somewhere about a single email which you received from a friend of yours, and then it all started.
Yes, yeah, I got an email out of the blue from Marko, and I think he was saying a friend of mine had referred him, and I like, what is this? And invited me to come to Serbia, like, wow, that sounds exciting, but how do I know it's real or whatever? So I asked my friend, like, oh yes, I couldn't go and I referred you. It's like, fantastic. So, I responded like, he would love to do it, but I didn't quite believe it was really happening until, like, he sent the tickets for it. And then when I came that first year, like, just fell in love with everything. And, his heart, his generosity, how hard he works, his talent as an artist. just amazing. So I feel really fortunate to be able to be friends with somebody like Marco for that. And also his assistant, Lazar, is one of the best humans I've ever met. You know, when you know, you trust people like that around your daughter or whatever like that, like I have no doubts everything's going to go perfect. You're going to take care of them. So it's just wonderful people you get to meet. And everybody I meet through him has been really great and wonderful, and like they share that good heart.
Yes, he's surrounded by such a people, you know. He just attracts them.
Yes, he does.
The mood he does. It's really okay. In the name of all our watchers, I wish you to be more and more fortunate each day by finding and meeting new people, open-hearted people, people who will support your work and who will give you new ideas for new projects.
Hvala.
Thank you, Denis. Hvala to you too.
Okay.
Alfa i Omega, Fotorame. Marko Stamatović sa moje leve, vaše desne strane. Srce Fotorame, ideja Fotorame i snaga Fotorame, moram da kažem. Marko, evo, prošle godine smo, dakle, samo pokušali da te pratimo kroz ona 3 dana koje smo proveli u Kragujevcu, jedva smo uspevali, dakle, zadržimo taj ritam. Za razliku od one 12. ova 13. je bila teža organizaciono? Moram da te pitam, pre svega to.
Jeste, bila je teža, kao i obično srpski problemi sa financijama, treba sve to isterati, ali evo, hvala Bogu, opet smo imali sreće, pogledano zbog, završili smo sve kako treba, program je opet bio super, gosti su bili fenomenalni, evo, završili smo i sa jako dobrom izložbom, možda i najboljeg do sad, da kažemo, izložbom saradnje srpskih i japanskih studenta fotografije, tako da dobro je.
Dobro. Čak i Denis kaže da je, eto, sa svakim susretom sa tobom bogatiji za još neko novo iskustvo. Prosto kaže da, eto, ti i takvi ljudi koje ti privlačiš, uključujući i njega, mu daju snage da nastavi dalje. Intervju pre tebe smo radili sa njim.
Denis je jako ljubazan.
Hoćeš da kažeš, a?
Denis je jako ljubazan, ali imamo sreće da baš zbog toga, što kaže, uvek je ima, što kaže, i belog u crnom i crnog u belom. To što mi imamo, da kažemo, te neke, mi smo finansijski jaki, s druge strane dovlači među nas prave zaljubljenike toga što mi radimo i to su uvek, hvala Bogu, ono najveće imena, jer najveće imena imaju tu ideju da šire fotografiju, a ne da zarađuju novac. Tako da, kažem, pored svega imali smo sreće da upoznamo jako dobre ljude koji su nam, eto, postali instant prijatelji. Tako da Denis je već 4. put i čovjek koga ja mogu napred da pozovem u pola dana, u pola noći, ne znam, 10.000 km odavde i ja to smatram velikim uspehom i mene kao čovjeka i Fotorame kao organizacije, da jednostavno imate jednog takvog čovjeka s koga možda nazovete prijateljem i to je omogućila Fotorama. To što je bila i osnovna ideja celog snimanja ovakvog festivala.
A kaži mi, ova radionica na kojoj je predavao i držao predavanje Denis, upravo kako je prošla, koliko je studenta bilo, znam neka iskustva studenta koji su prošli kroz radionicu da je Denis bio neverovatno strpljiv, neverovatno pažljiv u tom pristupu studentima i svima nama koji su krenuli u radionicu. Koliko je ljudi okupilo ove godine?
Ove godine mi obično imamo taj neki, ajde ako ćemo, Denis u inostranstvu radi te radionice do 15 polaznika. Nama je uvek dopuštao da možemo imamo 25. Ove godine smo imali preko 30 jer smo išli na to da što više ljudi dođu da vide i da ga čuju. A što tiče njegovih predavanja, on je na tim predavanjima više drugar nego što je predavač, što mislim, ne, loše se zove, nego što je autoritet. To je u stvari, po meni, odlika dobrog predavača, nekog ko će da opusti čovjeka kod koga uči i koji će da prenese to znanje na najbolji mogući način. Znači, ja sam radio sa dosta predavača, sa dosta velikih imena i obično, kažem, ponavljam, ta najveća imena su obično prizemna, strpljiva, jer su prošli, oni su prošli na to sito i rešeto, tako da znaju kako je kad se radi, kad se počinje i ti ljudi otprilike ostavi najveći trag tim početnicima sa kojima rade. Tako da je to ono što kaže nešto što i ja volim i što je meni drago, a i pošteno da vam kažem, imao sam sreće da naletim takve ljudi.
Da, ali opet i ta doza tog strpljenja i te karakteristike velikih ljudi ogleda se i u tebi i u tvom radu. I ti si učitelj, i ti učiš decu i ono što si ti uradio u svojoj matičnoj školi neće verovatno niko nikada da ponovi. Što je opet lepa stvar. U današnje vreme, kada znaš, svi gledaju da što manje obaveze imaju da bi što pre na vrata uraditi onakvu stvar, mislim, svaka čast, pazi.
Ja sam imao uslove.
Ja sam ti rekao, imao si uslove, ali imao si verovatno i podršku bez koje sve to ne bi uspalo.
Pošto je naša škola, gde smo mi to radili, u stvari bila privremeni objekat, montažni objekat od onih lesovnih ploča i rigipsa, tako da imao sam mesta gde sam mogao da kačim radove, pošto mi je škola bukvalno izgledala kao, ne znam, dispanzer, znači ono, bela boja gore, masna boja dole.
Masna, obavezno, da.
I onda meni je bilo ružno kad sam dolazio na taj posao, tako da verujem da je deci bilo, ne daj Bože. I rekao, ajde da probamo da malo to, što kaže, oplemenimo, da izgleda lepo. Tako da, verujem ja da bi i drugim ljudima pao napamet, nego jednostavno, kažem, mi smo imali smo gde da smo mogli da kačemo radove, tako da ispalo dobro.
Marko, ne smem da zaboravim da pomenem tvoju divnu i dragu porodicu, koja se verovatno opet našla na braniku 13. Fotorame. Evo da i njih da spomenemo jer zaista zaslužuju.
Ja moram prvenstveno da se zahvalim mojoj ženi koja sad kuva gulaš.
Gulaš koji ćemo mi kasnije da probamo.
I čekam moje goste. I uvek je lepo da još uvek imam ženu posle ovakvih stvari. Ali dobro, sve to, mislim, ja to radim za njih.
Da, divno.
Ja to radim za njih. Eto, moji klinci, pogotovo Ogen koji je stariji, imao je priliku da sarađuje sa nekim od najvećih imena fotografije svih vremena. Znači, od Steva Mekarija, Jerry Ilsmana, Fritza Hoffmana, znači to je svetska reprezentacija i on je eto zbog Fotorama imao šanse da radi sa Lynn Johnson. Videli ste sami.
Videli smo, da.
Znači, Lynn Johnson mu je u 12 godina pregledala fotografije. Ja ne znam da je meni to rekao u 20 godina, će to da se desi, ja bih vjerojatno se onesvestio sad ovdje i Tako da, eto, super je. Oni su meni podrška za to velika, jer imam za koga da radim. Onda me oni me podsjećaju za koga sam uopšte počeo ovo da radim, tako da dobro je to.
Bravo.
Ide.
Eto, neka ide i dalje, neka napreduje, neka raste, neka se čuje, neka se vidi. Marko, želim ti pre svega dobro zdravlje i da nastaviš ovakvom energijom da vodiš Fotoramu. Mi smo uvijek tu, oko tebe, iza tebe sa strane, kao najveća moguća podrška za ovaj pionirski poduhvat koji si krenuo, a koji evo prerasta u nešto po čemu će Kragujevac da se prepoznaje na mapi sveta.
I hvala mojoj ženi.
I ženi obavezno ženi. Hvala. Između ostalih 13 Fotorama ovako i uživo predstavlja autore koji su se ovde predstavili svojim radovima. S moje desne strane Jelisaveta Miletić, Seko, dobro ti veče i dobrodošlo. Lazar Stanojević, Lazare, dobroveče i tebi. Evo tu je i Viktorija Sabo koja se kloni mikrofona, ali zato Kristina Andjušić, ona nema problem s mikrofonom. Dobroveče Kristina, dobro nam došla.
Hvala po treći put.
Po treći put, je li je Kristina treća sreća?
Pa ja se nadam, definitivno sam ja srećna i Fotorama je postala, mislim, još od prve godine već jedna velika porodica i to se naravno dokazuje iz godine u godinu, tako da sam ja jako srećna i uzbuđena i ponosna pre svega i što sam imala priliku da budem na radionici Denisa Dambara proteklih 2 dana, što ću imati priliku da posetim još neke izložbe u gradu, nekih vrlo dobrih mladih umetnika. Ovde, naravno, učestvovati sa svojim fotografijama je privilegija i, mislim...
Da, a reci mi, šta si izlagala, odnosno šta izlaziš na izložbi?
Ja sam izlagala 3 fotografije na kojima se nalaze moj deda koji ima 84 godine i dubi na glavi, moj tata koji je napunio 60 godina dubi na glavi na stolici, svog sestrića koji ga imitira i svoju ćerku od 2,5 godine koja je gurnula sestrića pa se popela na tu istu stolicu, ne bi li naučila i ona nešto tak tipa. Ali ovaj akcent je prvenstveno na skretanju, akcent je na tome da se malo obrati više pažnje na stil života koji vodim i ja sama, a i svi mi, a koji je više usmeren na ekrane. Volela bih da roditelji daju malo pozitivniji primjer svoje deci u vidu neke fizičke aktivnosti, jer ako može, moj deda koji je rekao da ćemo se vidjeti u istom režimu za 10 godina, onda se ja nadam da ću tim uspeti možda malo ljude da dovedem u neko razmišljanje o tome šta rade i sebi i svoje deci.
Tako je, Kristina, kao da čitaš moje misli, jer isti taj problem koji imaš ti, imamo svi mi, pogotovo čija su deca u nekim teenage dobu, koje se nalaze i onda su ekrani i monitori jedini izlaz u svet. Dok su nam parkovi, šetališta, ulice, igrališta prazni, nigde nikog.
Nažalost.
Neka taj tvoj mali kamečić u mozaiku, neke naše zajedničke volje i želje bude jedan prvi korak ka tom odvajanju od tih, moram da kažem, jeste lepa pomoć, ali s druge strane i zlo. Neko sve opšte,
sve na nama, da procenimo i da iskoristimo na najbolji način za svešću ovog sveta.
Hvala, Kristina, i puno sreće, puno sreće. Hvala. Lazar Stanojević, koji bi rado da se nađe iza kamere, a nikako ispred, ali šta da radimo? Vezali smo ga lisicama, ovde ima na nogama prangije, pa sad neka proba da beže. Jeste. Lazare, s čime se pojavljuješ ispred kamere ove godine na 13. Fotorami?
Pa ove godine se pojavljam s jednom kratkom pričom o koledarskim maskama, koledarskim običajima. Htio sam da predstavim tu tradiciju u vezi tih koledarskih maski koja se polako možda i zaboravlja, koja se možda deca negde i stide, ali koja definitivno postoji i moram da se zahvalim da folklornom društvu Smilje i Ivani koji su mi omogućili da dođem do tih maski i do njih. To je bilo neplanirano, deca su se našla u školi, vežbali su folklorne te igre, ja sam došao i fotografisao sam ih, ispala je tu, to je jedna lepa fotografija koja mi je naslovna godina ispred te table, ko bude želao može da vidi. I eto, predstavljam te koledarske običaje i tu neku tradiciju koju definitivno deca bi trebala da se okrenu. Malo sam razmišljao i o ovim nemilim događajima koji su nas zadesili sve, eto i definitivno taj neki moj pokušaj da decu okrenem ka toj tradiciji i ka tom srpskom nekom identitetu, definitivno koga ne trebamo da se stidimo kako god da je i da ga branimo.
Da, tako i treba. Marko nam je rekao, pošto znamo da je Marko alfa i omega, ali ste vi zato leva i desna ruka Fotorame. Je li bilo teško?
Sve u vezi Fotorame sada?
Da, u vezi Fotorame ovogodišnje. Znam koliko juriš, koliko si tu
Nije teško, zato što mi svi, kao što rekla Kristina, mi smo svi definitivno postali jedna velika familija i sve je lepo pre svega. Jeste malo naporno, to su 4 dana od jutra do mraka, u tom smislu je naporno, ali eto, mi svi to volimo, tako da...
Da, jedno lepo iskustvo sa ove radionice koje, evo i sam autor, odnosno neko ko vas je podučavao, dakle Denis je rekao da skoro nima ovakve studente, da prosto se vidi ta srčanost i otvorenost koja je njemu najvažnija.
Mislim, njega ovde shvatamo kao člana porodice, mislim da on je već, evo, koji treći put već tu, treći put je to, da, i mi svi ga jako volimo, a on je pre svega jako otvoren čovek, jedan skroman, normalan čovek, a jako je uspešan, ne biste nikad rekli kad pričate s njim ovako kao da se komšem pričate.
Jeste, baš je tako.
Baš je jako opuštan i sve apsolutno hoće da pokaže, da da sve od sebe, da se to nauči najbolje što može. Tako da u tom smislu jako dobro.
Dobar Lazare, hvala ti za ovo malo priče, ipak smo naterali te da ispričaš i ti nešto u kameru, da se vidiš, a sa moje desne strane Seka i Jelisaveta Miletić. Seko, je li ovo tebi prvi nastup na Fotorama?
Meni jeste prvi nastup, odnosno prvo učestvovanje sa njima i stvarno mi je jako bilo drago i da upoznam toliko novih ljudi, da učestvujem i toliko pozitivne energije u svom tom nekom haosu i sređivanju fotografija i tom ludilu i žurbe, tako da stvarno mi je drago što sam ih sve upoznala i što sam imala prilike da sarađujem sa njima.
Čime si se predstavila? Sa čime se predstavljaš na izložbi?
Predstavila sam se svojim nekim nasleđem koje imam u porodici, odnosno nasleđem žena koje moja porodica nosi. Predstavila sam, eto, moju prabaku i moju čukumbaku i sa jedne i sa druge strane porodice, kako su one u stvari došle u Srbiju, kako su se izvukle, kako je ta ženska energija u stvari izgradila moju porodicu i održala je, da je to danas što jeste.
Fantastično. Bila si i na ovoj radionici, dakle na Photoshopu Denisa Darama, kaži mi, kakve utiske nosiš odatle?
Oduševljena sam, ja sam neko ko se baš nije snalazi u Photoshopu, tako da juče prvi put kad smo imali, to je bilo kao špansko selo za mene. Bilo je kao šta ovaj čovjek priča, gde se nalaze ove komande, šta sad, gde trebam da kliknem, ali on je sve bio toliko srdačan i objasnio, ja sam njemu na kraju rekla, ja ne znam, ja shvatam šta mi trebamo da uradimo, ali ja ne znam gde se te komande nalaze i kako da ih nađem, i onda on meni pokazao gde i kako da ih nađem i kako da ih otvorim i koristim. Tako da danas je bilo mnogo bolje, ali sam oduševljena, što kažu, kao član porodice.
A kaži mi, Seko, na toj radionici, to sam zaboravio i Denisa da pitam, jeste imali neki zadatak ili prosto ste samo učili načine na koje može da vam pomogne Photoshop da ostvarite neke svoje ideje koje ste zamislili u glavi?
Učili smo načine, ali imali smo i vežbu. On je imao predavanje, jedno sat i po dva, i onda je nama davao zadatke i onda je išao od jednog do drugoga i sa svakim je ponaosob radio i pokazivao i pitao šta nam ne ide, šta nas interesuje, šta smo pokušali da uradimo, pa smo tu pričali. On je svakom mi posvetio malo pažnje, tako da, eto, ja sam oduševljena.
Seko, želim i tebi i svima vama da napredujete i dalje, da se viđamo na Fotoramama, da delimo ovu lepu pozitivnu energiju, ove lepe pozitivne misli i eto, a Bog koji nas čuje i koji je svuda oko nas, neka nas samo prati i neka nam da vetar u leđa. Hvala vam puno za ovaj divan intervju. Eto, pozdravljam vas sa 13. Fotorame u Kragujevcu.